exploring brotherhood is something that is in all of Gavin's films, and he does it very well. These guys grew up in an incredibly complicated way, and this film, although is sort of a Trojan horse for all kinds of sort of traumatic kids being raised in traumatic situations. It's a Trojan horse for, like we talked before, sort of folks that are growing up on the spectrum, and what that does and how that is, for the entire family. And it's sort of again delivered in this Trojan horse of being an action film. And there was no shortcuts taken in this second film. It was not, hey, we can do sort of an easier version, just get it out there. It was really, it was a deeper dive into the relationship. It was a deeper dive into the wound that took place in this family, and that's something I'm all on board for. And I've always thought with Brax, especially, he's as equally complicated a person as his brother is, and I was enormously grateful and happy that they decided to dive into his character this way, and it's been a lot of fun. The way these guys work, the way Gavin works and the way Bill works, and like I said, I know them both. They are not people who, there's nothing sloppy about them. There's nothing, they do not take the easy way out. Bill has an encyclopedic knowledge of these characters. These people are all coming from his life, from his world, and his heart, and his head. I've gotten to know Bill pretty well over the years, and Gavin works the exact same way. He's methodical. He doesn't leave any stone unturned. There's nothing that just sort of is thrown away. We went over this script, so many times to try to find any sort of inconsistencies, any sort of things that just brought up questions, any sort of mysteries, and then we dove in with everything we could to solve those mysteries. And so many of, I often think, so many times when you locate the problems in a script, or you locate the problem, the thing that you just can't quite buy, or the thing you can't just quite wrap your head or your heart around when you're playing a role, if you just focus on that one thing, once you figure that out, it opens up so many rivers of opportunity for the rest of the project, and that's really what we did. And truthfully, with Brax, he's lived his entire adult life, the majority of his life, looking only at he like so many of us are. They live in response to their main wound, the main wound of their life, and the main wound of Brax's life is his brother sort of rejecting him and losing contact with him. That was his one person, and honestly, I think for Brax, when he sees how committed Chris is, his brother, to Ray and to figuring this thing out, I think he's hurt by it. I think he doesn't understand it. If you're so committed to this guy, how come you haven't been committed to me? And there's a real protective narcissism, I think, that he has, and he's sort of unable to see anything outside of that until he does. And again, that's sort of where these characters evolve, and that's where there's these characters that have such a sort of colorful and rich history together. They grow, and they grow on screen, they grow on camera, where in the first film they really weren't together at all. They were just sort of these mysterious people who were sort of orbiting around each other, and then at the end they came into just into conflict, and then there was this promise of, hey, we're going to get together, and they never did. And I think we saw the betrayal, we saw the last part of the wound, and now we're starting to see these people coming together and starting to heal. It's great to be with Ben. It's just great, and I think we were able to bond on this one. Last time we didn't spend that much time with each other, but we really did on this, and we really got close, and he and I just had sort of an ease and a rapport right from the jump, both on screen and off, and I'm really grateful for it. I admire him so much. The thing about Ben is, he's not only this sort of like icon and this brilliant actor, he's an enormously intelligent, vulnerable, sensitive, kind person. And, look, he's he's the guy here. He's the big boss too, and he's a brilliant filmmaker, to boot. And I've been blown away with his ability to sort of temper himself and let everybody kind of do their thing, and him just sort of settle into the role of being the lead actor, not the studio head, And it's been really, but also at times to sort of step in and say, hey, this is what sort of needs to be done here. I think he's done it with elegance, and I think he's done it with grace, and I have enormous respect for him. Look, I hope people dig it. I really hope people dig this movie. I think that there is a ton of heart behind this movie. I think there's a ton of heart. I think it came from love. I think, again, there's no shortcuts on this film. I think that it's a sequel, but it's also a standalone film. I think that there's so much love, again, for these characters and for this family at the core of the film. And every part of the process, every part of the journey along the way was kind of made from that. So yeah, there will be unbelievable action. There will be heart-wrenching scenes and heart-wrenching stakes. And we will get behind the mission of the film. The sort of puzzle-like quality of the first film, trying to figure it out. I think it's there to a certain extent, but this one is so much more down and dirty. It's so much more about the emotions and the connections and what these characters want. But I think you'll see that. I think that's the biggest takeaway. I think you're going to see that this story is so much more about it. There's just so much more heart in this version, and I think people are going to dig it.